morning. Or good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at. It's morning here. It's not that early. It's like 9:30. I slept in today. It's my first day this week getting to sleep in. So I've got to shave my head today. This is getting, look at that. It's unruly. When it can start to be messy, it's too long. Y'all come on in, get comfy, tap the screen with your thumb, get those likes up. We're at 0 right now. Let's see what we can do about that. Appreciate you being here. Alrighty. Thank you. Thank you. That's right. That's how we do it. This goes up, makes this number go up. I get more followers. You're a part of the support system. I appreciate it. Seriously. But I don't have a topic this morning. Yesterday I talked about vanilla SCX on my story. Apparently I should have posted that video out where people could share it, so I'm going to be doing that today. Because I guess sometimes, like, kinky people can say rude things about vanilla. There shouldn't be any vanilla shaming. There shouldn't be any vanilla shaming. We all started with vanilla. Vanilla is the foundation of all the flavors. If you never move from vanilla, there's nothing wrong with that. Vanilla is complex, rich, and deep. So I guess that's like what's on my mind when I woke up this morning, because everybody was having like a very warm embrace of that video. I just started seeing an AFAB, non-binary cutie. Have used so many of your tips on them. Thank you. Oh, I love that. I love that. I love when the content makes people feel more comfortable, more at ease, more confident. That's amazing. Good for you. Coffee slaps this morning. You ever get just like the perfect ratio of like your add-ins? Like if you drink black coffee, props to you. Must be just so easy. Like just pour and go and wow. Okay. I'm a cold brew addict. Love it. Love iced coffee. And it's pumpkin spice season. So I don't know how y'all feel about that, but I'm like, yay, fall flavors. My favorite is maple brown sugar. But breathe, my man.
I can't move.
Is your computer frozen?
No.
Okay, you just sounded really frustrated, so.
I am.
Okay.
It's just lagging.
Oh, it's lagging. Gotcha. That's frustrating, but you gotta remember to breathe. You hold your breath, it makes it worse. Do we have like specific blends? There's different ones. They're definitely not all built the same. Some of them taste like really watered down. Like if I pour it and as the stream is going, if I can see through it, it's not for me. It's not for me. I only like the concentrates. It's got to be like thick black abyss. I want it to taste like cold espresso. And they're not all built the same. Some of them taste like cold Waffle House coffee. And if you're not around the Southeast, then you have no idea what I'm talking about. But it's just like dirty water. So I'm kind of persnickety about my cold brews. This one is Green Chameleon, and it's meant to be diluted, and I don't do that. I just put my creamer in it. Right now I'm doing a pumpkin spice oat milk, and the pumpkin spice oat milk creamer was not sweet enough nor creamy enough. But I add maple syrup, and it makes me happy. So that's what I've got going on this morning. And it's slapping. It's slapping. It's making me happy, which is great because I'm on day 2 of my period, and I just want food and fun things to eat and drink. Like, that's the stuff that makes me happy. Good morning. I'm trying to decide if I want to light my candles. I'm a sensual person, so everything is about experiencing life through the senses. So in the morning, I'm like, it's part of my evening routine. to light my candles on my shelves. I like the ambiance of the light, and I like the smell. It makes me happy. So I'm trying to decide, because these fucking Bath and Body Works candles are expensive. These fuckers are breaking me. So I have to like pick what times of the day I want to enjoy them, because the next thing you know, they're like gone because I've left them burning all day. Hey, good afternoon, UK. Thanks for dropping in. You in the boat? You in the boat with me? Let's row, Bo. Let's row this boat. Yeah, day 2. I prefer day 2 over day 1. Day 1 is the lightning rod pain up my butthole. Day 2, that eases off. How do I not fall asleep when the candles are lit? Because they're so expensive. I need to put them out. I have fallen asleep with them lit because I love the glow, the smell. It's very soothing. But when I wake up, all my wax is gone, and I didn't get to enjoy it because I was unconscious. And these little fuckers are $26.50 a piece, and I'm going to enjoy every bit of glow and smell. So, I do like wax melts. I have a follower who sent me a great package of wax melts. Her Instagram is Thermaflame. So Thermaflame over on Instagram. She has some awesome wax melts, and she has them with like the crystals inside and really great fragrances. Day 2, you just want to sleep. Yeah. Some really good candles are a little cheaper. I have to check out those Target candles. My favorite fragrance right now is Autumn Woods. It's right here. Well, it's toss up between Spiced Pumpkin Patchouli. This is fucking bomb. This is my girlfriend's favorites. The only reason that I'm not burning it right now is because I bought these 2 for her specifically, because she was like having a hard mental health week, and I was like, babe, is there anything I can do? And she was like, will you buy me fall candles in the cinnamon broom? And I haven't bought the cinnamon broom yet because she lives an hour and 20 minutes away, and I want to buy it there. Palo Santo is bomb. But this bad boy right here is, it's everything. Like, some of these candles, I love the smell, but they're not strong enough. Like, if I light this, I want my whole room to be saturated in it. And I don't want my nose to get used to it. I want to smell it all the time. And some of these cinnamon ones, they smell great when I light them, but they kind of just blend, and you can't smell them. I'm going to get that. Yes, I usually only get them on sales. I usually do, but it's fall. Okay, it's fall. You feel me? It's fall. So I'm all about pumpkin apple, pumpkin this, spice that, but this Autumn Woods is everything because it's amber, walnut, and English lavender, and it's mind-blowing. I'd be so sad when I can't get this one anymore. Kind of like how I felt about when I found, there's one in the summertime that's called like Tiki Hut or something, and it's amazing. And let me switch it up. I do like oil diffusers. I do. I just like really strong scent. So that's why I like the candles. I love amber. I love amber. I love cashmere. Bath and Body Works has a new one called Leather and Brandy. Honey. Leather and brandy. It's so good. Just finding a real strong scent. Yeah, that is the key for sure. But I like earthy fragrances. God. Spiced pumpkin patchouli. It's so fucking good. I love patchouli mixes. Central amber is so good. So good. Right? Leather and anything. Yeah. I do like diffusers. I do. I really love candles. It's a whole ritual thing for me. It's the sound of the lighter. When I click it, it soothes me. It's like a Pavlovian thing at this point. My body switches over from work mode to relax mode because I don't light my candles until I'm done with my sessions with clients. I work from home. So if I had Zoom sessions with pleasure clients, then I wait until after to light the candles, and that switches my brain over. The sound of the lighter, the seeing the flame, the lighting the wicks, the glow of the glass, and then the fragrance lets me know, hey, the workday's over. You can, like, switch off. So I have 2 clients today. I'll be waiting until after those clients, now that I'm thinking about it, because I was like, oh, no, I light my candles now, but it's like, no. That's for... So, but I do like diffusers. I like fragrance. I'm very much a scent gal, for sure. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. I'm going to need another coffee, probably. Not because I'm not awake, but because it tastes really good. And y'all like that? Like, the coffee's not even about its function, it's about the taste. Oh, thank you for the likes. Thank you for tapping the screen. Again, as these numbers go up, you make these numbers go up, and that makes my following go up. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's way more about the flavor for me. Anything after that is taste, right? It's not even so much for me to, like, be awake. It's more to, like, keep me regular. You know what I mean? Like, I drink coffee to poop. The other day, you told us about the breathing technique. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Used to be like that with Red Bulls. Woo. Red Bulls taste like liquid Smarties to me. I'm doing well. How are you doing this morning? Okay, gonna TikTok put a warning. Consuming substances in this live. What?
Yeah.
Consuming substances in this life can be harmful. We're talking about candles and cold brew, and TikTok is like danger. Holy cow. This was me today, adding true espresso to my coffee. I need extra push to... Right. Is it me? I haven't heard of that. I have not heard of that. You can just send me a screenshot. That's hilarious. Are we drinking? Nobody's drinking candle. This app is weird, y'all. So fucking weird. Hey, good morning, friend. I appreciate that. I'm having a good morning. Thank you. Tips on always making sure she feels comfortable. Check in. The only way you're going to know is check in. You don't have to ask every 5 minutes, are you okay? You can start to study your person and study their body language when they feel good. Like when they tell you they feel good, they feel relaxed, they feel safe. Drink in their body language in that moment, because that's the body language that you're looking for. So you don't have to verbally check in every time. The point is to attune and get to know your person. So instead of being latched on to the need of that reassuring verbal feedback every single time, when you do the verbal feedback and they verbally tell you, yes, I feel good, I feel relaxed, I feel safe, I feel comfortable, notice the softness of their eyes, where their shoulders are they up by their ears? Notice their chest rise and fall. What's their breathing pattern? Is it short? Is their exhale longer than their inhale? Things like that. These are going to be your right brain communication information, because the left brain is for language and logic, and your right brain is like spatial and micro expressions and the facial expressions and the tone and inflection of the voice. So not so much what they say, but the tone and inflection of when they say it. Yeah, no problem. So that's about attuning to each other. She meant because she choked at you. That's why it's dangerous. Oh no. Yeah, you can't say. I was curious how you were gonna send me a screenshot over here. Yeah, you can follow me over on Instagram, and you can send me a message through there. Hang on, I gotta see. There we go. Excuse me. Too funny. I don't always like nipple play. Doesn't fit for me unless they're already tender. Any tips to improve this? You can incorporate playing with them during self-pleasure. What can happen sometimes, because this stimulation, it communicates with the same region as your brain as this stimulation down here. It's called your genital sensory cortex, which is kind of a little misleading because it's also your nipple sensory cortex. But stimulating nipples can communicate to the genitals, so you don't even have to stimulate the genitals. You can just stimulate the nipples. For someone who has less sensitivity, it doesn't exactly do that much direct, but what the issue can be is a neural pathway thing, and you can fire that signal to get that connection to reconnect. So I would recommend in your self-pleasure, just like stroking them in a way that is pleasurable to you. Don't force yourself to like something, but be curious about what could feel good. So maybe starting out with soft stroking. You can even do it like in the shower. That way they're already hot, get under hot water, use the warmth to get blood flow into that area, and then just kind of play with them. Just be curious about what could feel good and get to know what doesn't feel good. That way you can be like, I don't like pinching, I don't like pulling, I like palm rub, or I like twiddling. Like, get to know what you like, and then just be curious about how that stimulation can communicate to this area, because this sends signals to the same region of your brain that this does, and it can actually send signals ding, and then the signal go back down to ding, and it can go like ding 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 ding, and you can blend the stimulations once you get it figured out. But like, you have to think about it in terms of, it's not a light switch that you're going to turn on, but it's a pathway that you're going to create by sending that signal multiple times down that pathway. Kind of like if you were out to walk out into the woods and there wasn't a trail there, you'd have to walk that path a few times before there was actually a trail worn there. So yeah, the brain is very interesting, and that's where everything gets started. Imagine clips this live out of context. Haha. Is it weird that it's more pleasurable while on my period? No, it's not weird at all that it's more pleasurable on your period. That area is a lot more sensitive on your period. Your progesterone levels are different, estrogen levels. I'm a horny fucker on my period. I told my girlfriend that I started my period yesterday, and I go to visit her this weekend, and she was like, oh my God, I can't wait to finger paint this weekend. I'm going to marry her. I love her. I referred the husband to your page. I've noticed him. Reminded me to breathe. That is beautiful. That is fucking beautiful. I love that. You just made me so happy. Thank you. I'm going to screenshot that. Much appreciated. Thank you. But yeah. I think it's hilarious that I want to have sex the most frequently when it's impossible to get pregnant. Like when you're in that zone where there's no way you could possibly get pregnant. Not that there would be anyone around that could get me pregnant, but I find that pretty funny because people think of schmex as like, Leah says hi. 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 And they think of it as something as like procreation. But it's really interesting because if someone thinks that they might get pregnant and they don't want to, it can turn their arousal off. So it's not really helpful to getting pregnant, is it? One of mine is sensitive. That is normal. That's normal. You can make the other one more sensitive, but you got to work with it. Oh, little one, I didn't see the rest of what you said. You just says imagining clips of this live out of context, and then the next thing I see, because that's something I'm nervous about. TikTok may have blocked what you said. You know how they are about on this app, so I didn't get it on this side. How to relax more during I get too in my head to finish with a partner. Okay. If you're getting in your head, then you're spectating. Okay? If you're getting in your head, then you're spectating. Let me explain. Spectating is when you float up out of your body and observe yourself from above. So you're probably asking yourself things like, how does this look? I hope I'm doing this right. Am I taking too long? Stop that. And I know it's not as simple as being like, okay, I'll stop that and it's all good now. This is your practice. How does it feel? How does it feel? Every time you're goading your head, starting with, how does it look? How do I smell? How do I taste? I hope I'm doing this right. Go back to, how does this feel? Does it feel good? Is it consensual? That's it. There's no more questions to ask. Don't skip out on asking yourself, how does this feel? You're never taking too long. You're never taking too long. Taking too long for what? No, little one, it didn't come through. I'm sorry. You have to think of some code word because they didn't like what you said. Come on, come back from being so understimulated mentally that you just feel bored and sad. I'm not sure what you mean by coming back from it, because if you're understimulated, you need more stimulation. You deserve more stimulation. You deserve pleasure in the capacity that you would like to receive it. If you're bored, you need stimulation. Trying to do the slow breathing on your own. You don't have to do slow breathing. Just breathe. Just breathe. The point is just not to hold your breath. That's it. If you concentrate too much on the rate of breath and stuff like that, you're going to throw your arousal off. One thing that helps take me out of spectator mode is simply opening my eyes. Helps to ground me. Yeah, it can go either way for people. Sometimes it's a blindfold that brings them back. Sometimes it's opening their eyes that brings them back. You really want to dive into a sense that keeps you there. So when I say, like, how does it feel? For some people, it may be like smelling your partner. Like, if I smell my partner right here, I am nowhere else but in the present moment. So scent is the one that grounds me. I'm glad that you found the sense that grounds you is visual. Sometimes it's sound for people. Listening to your partner's breath rate change. Listening to the way it sounds when you rub your hand across their skin. Some people need more stimulation, so maybe some fingernails across the skin can be more stimulating and bring you back. But you shouldn't be worried about asking your partner for more stimulation if that's what you need, because if you're just enduring something to get through it, you're creating low desire. It's never going to get better if you're enduring. So in my head, that kills my mood completely, and I just want snuggles instead, and that's valid as fuck if you just want snuggles instead. I've been there. I've been there when it's time to snuggle instead. Don't feel bad about that. You don't owe anyone a performance. Sex is an exchange of pleasure, and if pleasure isn't being exchanged, as in it's happening on both sides and you're sharing it back and forth, then it needs to stop. Your baby, did you formula feed her the other way? I breastfed. I breastfed for 3.5 years. One of my nipples used to look at the ground, and the other one was facing south, and the other one's facing east, and I did a whole lot of yoga it was this one, to pick that one back up. Did that have any effect? Do you mean on sensitivity, or are you talking about the high prolactin levels and the low dopamine levels affecting desire? I feel like I'm taking pleasure away from her if I say no to her doing me. What about your pleasure? Like, if you're not exchanging it, then it's not sex anymore. It's just like somebody masturbating with your body. God, I hope I don't get in trouble for that one. But, like, that is, like, the brutal honesty of the situation. Sex is not transactional. You did with twins. Go you. I tandem nursed a baby that I was like, not really a nanny. Was I a nanny? As a babysitter, and I'm attachment parenting community, so, like, we would just feed whoever's holding a baby and was making milk would feed the baby. Like, I was in a real true community. My husband is coming home from being away 3 months, afraid of it being awkward. Any suggestions? Make it playful when he gets home, instead of feeling the weight of obligation to perform in a certain way because he's been gone for so long. Tell him that you would like a reentry time. My girlfriend asks me for that sometimes. Like, sometimes we come together and it's like heated and yeah, let's just do it. And sometimes we need like reentry time because we're long distance through the week. So just depending on what's been going on for the week, it's totally valid to need time for your mind and body to come in sync so that when you do have spicy time, you can actually feel, the touch and not be in your head. So, like, if you were at home with the kids this whole time, it can take you time to switch over from, like, mom mode to sexy time mode. Those are two different people, And it's totally valid for you to need some time to, like, make that transition. So if you need, like, to set a mood, or maybe you guys want to play a little game, or you can find, like, some sexy game to play. You can, like, Google little sexy games. Let it be awkward. Oh my gosh, let it be awkward. Let it be silly. Take some time to, like, just talk with each other, laugh with each other. Laughter is really great transition from, like, awkwardness to spiciness. But yeah, honor yourself and don't feel obligated to perform. Please don't step into a performance. You're not going to have a good time if you're performing. Happy to pleasure her most of the time with no reciprocation. She doesn't always like that. Yeah, I know some people, I'm one of those people, I like to go both. So if, like, my partner's not feeling then I'd just rather snuggle. An experience led us to not get with. Oh, don't listen to those people. Don't listen to those people. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired of this. Great lovers are made. They're not fucking born, okay? I'm so fucking tired of people being like, I don't want to be your first. Da, 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 da. Just say you're a bad teacher. Don't come out here discouraging people who've never even experienced this. If you're a bad teacher, you can just fucking say that. If you don't want to communicate during schmexy time, then you can just fucking say that without discouraging people who are new, okay? Because everybody was new at one time. And if you want to step all over people because you're not new anymore, you can just take that tired shit somewhere else. Those red flags are there for you to avoid, baby. Don't you worry about those people. If they come out and they're like, I don't want to be your first. Good. I don't want to get in bed with your ain't shit ass, okay? Because you don't want to be a communicator, because you just want everything to just fall together spontaneously. They're waving their red flags and you can just walk on the fuck by them. You ain't missing out on shit, okay? They're just letting you know they're not good at communicating and they're not good teachers. So say thank you. Say thank you to those situations. Like, oh, dodged a bullet because you put yourself out there loud and proud, okay? It's not, it's okay, honey. Yeah, I'm just tired of that shit. There's no need for negativity. You can be like someone and be like, I don't feel comfortable being your first. You could just say that. You could just own it and be accountable without making somebody feel bad about something. But they don't want to do that. I don't know why. But when you hear them say something like that, like, I ain't trying to be nobody's first, what they're saying is, I don't feel comfortable. I don't feel comfortable being somebody's first, okay? And that means you don't want to sleep with them. All right? Don't worry about that. Okay, girlfriend likes to use the vibe in front of me. It's hot to watch, but I feel a little awkward watching. You feel a little awkward watching? Is there not another body part that you could be stimulating while she's doing that? Anytime that I've been with a partner and they've been using a toy, like we're having a little fun time, I usually like stimulate this area. Or I'm a dirty freak, so I'll stimulate that area back there. Blended stimulation is magical, and also you are increasing the context of that stimulation by watching. You have upped the increase of oxytocin, dopamine, vasopressin, increasing the capacity for the orgasm by being in the room watching. You have made it 10 times more stimulating than if she was doing that by herself. But there are other parts of the body that you could be stimulating while she does that, if she's on board with that. Let's see. Let me roll back. Cinema partner is for us. We talked it out and found solutions for both of us. Oh, that's good. Mom, it's been so hard. You get a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. Yeah. You need time. You need time to transition. It's real. It's real. It's fucking valid. Let your body and mind come in sync. Because maybe I think I should already know everything and I don't. That's impossible. It's impossible. Great lovers are made. They're not born. You're not born just being like, oh, I know how to do all the things. No, it doesn't work that way. It does not. It turns out he had never had a partner who wanted to pleasure him too. Oh, okay. We essentially just figured out they're the mental blocks where we experiment around him. That's such good communication, little one. Yes, yes, yes. Amazing. I love it. Little one, did we ever figure out a workaround for the question that you were trying to ask me that TikTok kept pop, pop, pop? You can message me on Instagram too, and I'll check it later today. Partner is different to be easy. Oh my God, every partner is different. Every partner is different. Every single fucking partner is different. So if people try to act like because they've slept with fill in the blank number of people, I don't care if it was 10, I don't care if it was 1,000. Because if I eat 100 good meals, it does not make me a good chef. I could eat 100 good meals, I'm not going to be a great chef. This person could have had sex terribly 100 times. You don't know. I would rather sleep with somebody who's only slept with 2 people, but was attuned and learned along the way. And picked up communication skills and has good security with their self. So if I positively redirect them, they don't get shot down with their ego. Like, oh my God, I wasn't already doing it right without communicating to you. So I'm going to shut down now because you moved my hand a little to the left the way that you like it. I don't care how many people you fuck. If you can't take positive redirection, you're going to be shitty in bed. I'm still learning about new things I enjoying the journey. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm 37 years old and my self-pleasure has changed completely. It was about the feeding thing. Oh, the breastfeeding. It changing things. Have you got like lowered sensitivity? Am I still navigating wearing Laurels while going down? When you can't see? What do you mean you can't see? Like it's pitch dark in there and you got Laurels on? I mean, you can feel with your hand. The main thing is that you want the gusset to go in the folds. You know what I'm saying? Like the lips. And that way when you go to do your thing, that it's not stretched taut. But because it has a wide gusset in the crotch area. So that's meant to be like bunched up a little bit so it can fit in between the labia. Alright? So it should be kind of loose. You don't want it stretched completely taut. You want to kind of go into the fold. So when you go to put your mouth on, you can kind of like get that in your mouth. Okay, could issues with spicy time by myself be related to the responsive style you're talking about? I'm gonna need more information than that. Responsive desire is just like you feel arousal in your body, like the tingly feeling in your body before you feel the mental want. I deal with psych medication side effects in terms of lowered libido. It's gonna depend on what kind of medications you're on, but if it's a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, it inadvertently also blocks oxytocin, which can make it a lot harder for you to have an O. So taking O off of your destination seeking is going to make things a lot more pleasurable. If you're just focused on, hey, I wonder how aroused I can get, and just let an O sneak up on you or not be attached to if it doesn't show up this time, because it can be hit or miss just because of the way those medications work. Make things a lot more enjoyable. I was reading the other day if you add in like Wellbutrin, because Wellbutrin is more about dopamine and less about serotonin, that can be helpful. So talk to your physician or healthcare professional. I did there 5 times in 5 years. Was while you're feeding, yeah, because if you're breastfeeding, your prolactin levels are high. And if your prolactin levels are high, there can only be so much dopamine around because one neurotransmitter takes the place of the other. And if your dopamine is low, then your desire is going to be low. That's just how the fuck it works. My life's like a cup of coffee. I love that. One cause another baby. The dry spell, it can cause this real. Yeah, it is very real. It's very real. It's called low dopamine. My Serlin desire is always affected in some ways or another. You explain everything so well. Oh, thank you, friend. I appreciate that. I really appreciate your support. I know you've been with me for a while. Everyone will find their own way around it. It'll take a while, but I totally get that. Absolutely. True that. My 2 vibes died, so I'm just learning how to do it with my hand. Yeah. Man, I know how that can be. I like to mess with temperature when I'm doing with just my hand, so adding some heat can help. Glass toys, stainless steel toys are really helpful for that. You can like lay them on a heating pad or run them under hot water. It's helpful stuff. Heat helps with blood flow. I also find like laying on my belly and I'm gonna shut my door and kind of like humping something can be really fun too. He's like vibing hard on those video games over there, but we're just gonna shut the door just in case. It's just getting spicy. I got about 20 more minutes. I'm gonna have to pop off because I got a client at 11. Never been able to ride acoustically. It's extremely hard for me. I'm really hooked on those air pulse toys. They go so fast. They go so fucking fast. But my favorite thing is my girlfriend's mouth, for sure. Going through total LBD. Oh, hey. So you're in a relationship, 10 plus year relationship, LBD. Yeah, so the air pulse toys are your womanizers, your satisfiers. Like, there's all kinds of them now. They look like a pore refiner. They got an open hole for your bean to go in, and it goes. So it like vibrates it without touching it. It's fantastic. Cannot possibly recommend it enough. It sucks blood flow to the area. It's not like going to put a hickey on you or anything like that. It's not sucking that hard, and it's pulsing. It's my favorite. Absolute favorite. Closest thing you're going to get to a mouth without getting a mouth on you. So you got the LBD and a 10 plus. When's the last time you guys did something fun or new together? Not bedroom stuff. Just like going on a vacation, going on an adventure. I don't know. Go ride roller coasters if that's your jam. Play, just like play. Play needs to be the focus. Like, you know, focus on play, and then we can get back to the bedroom. It's just normal part of being in a relationship is that, like, even if you had spontaneous desire at the beginning of the relationship, long-term relationships naturally shift over to a more responsive desire. And sometimes we forget to create the environments that make us feel like getting spicy. And we just wait for it to spontaneously happen, and then 10 years later, and it hasn't. Every first timer I've invested in says they're all in, but later wants to go see what else is out there. I love teaching, but I get why it can feel like a risk in a committed relationship. That could be really troublesome to throw that blanket over an entire demographic of people just because it's been your experience with a few. It could be just as easily to happen with someone who's experienced. Just not your person. But you're live last week ago. Absolutely amazing for our marriage. I love it. I love to hear a success story. I traveled to airports toys probably from not knowing how to do that. Oh no. So with air pulse toys, you want to use a little bit of lube. And that helps seal it up. Otherwise, it just feels like a mild vibration. You're like, what's the big deal? I don't get it. I don't understand. It doesn't feel that great. Seal it up. Gotta get a little wet. I lick mine. You can do that if you want to. I just lick it and then stick it. But a little bit of lube is great. Had done a couple therapies. She said menopause took her desire away. Okay. Yes, menopause lowers estrogen. Absolutely. And testosterone is in decline from our 20s all the way throughout our lives. So yeah, getting hormone replacement therapy can be extremely helpful. But a really big proponent of our sexual desire comes from dopamine. And dopamine is increased through physical activity. So like moderate exercise, healthy foods, getting yourself out into green spaces can increase dopamine. Dopamine is what gives us our anticipatory drive. So our anticipation for sexy time comes from dopamine levels. And dopamine levels are in a fluctuating state depending on the way that we engage with life. So do I recommend that people like perimenopause, menopause, and like well into menopause, because there really isn't postmenopause. It's like menopause, and that's life now. Dr. Mary Claire is really great with this. Dr. Kelly Casperson is fantastic with this. If you want to watch the podcast You're Not Broken, or visit Dr. Mary Claire's TikTok and share those with your partner, it's really great. But saying, oh, menopause, no more sex is, nah, that's not true. Dr. Peggy Kleinplatz has a great study on this, saying that people having the most satisfying sex of their lives are aged like 54 to 83. And that's because of the communication skills and the insecurities of your 20s, and that shit is all gone. But menopause can do things that make us think that our sex life is over, which is like vaginal dryness and feeling the atrophy from the skin and the perineum. But that comes from low testosterone. And so now you can go to a pharmacist, you can get compounded testosterone. I understand that testosterone is not like FDA approved, but there are testosterone receptors in every organ of your body, and women have 10 times more testosterone than they have estrogen. So testosterone plays a part in that, and it has to do with the elasticity of like the opening of, I never know what I can say on here, like the opening of the V, and whether it has elasticity to it or not has to do with testosterone. Now the wetness has to do with the lowered estrogen. So getting an estradiol cream, you want to get the generic, you don't have to get the name brand estradiol because it's really expensive, but the estrogen cream. I don't have a podcast. I need to start a podcast. I have podcasts that I guest on. There's one that's this, oh shit, I forgot the name of it. That's bad. But another one was called Electric Feminine Podcast. But I don't talk about any of this stuff on there. But you want to get a cream, a vaginal estrogen cream, and that's going to help with wetness and softness. And you may want to look into testosterone, because that's going to help with elasticity, because menopause can affect your want to have sex because sex becomes painful. There's less pleasure. So it's not so much the menopause, it's the symptoms of menopause that can be fixed by going to see a healthcare professional. And you can be back on your way, instead of just being like, oh, this is just where I'm at life now. We have technology, you know. We have smartphones, we have Teslas, we have estrogen cream for your V. You can do things to get the party started again. But dopamine is a really big deal. That's your anticipatory, it's a neurotransmitter. Yes, that gives you the anticipatory, the want to get in it. You did message me. Okay. Thanks, sorry. I'll go check that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. I used to always initiate, but now I'm like, well, if she don't care, I don't need it. Yeah. If you're always initiating and the answer is always no, that's a totally natural response. But if your partner is like in menopause, then there's like a lot of factors that can be playing in other than just saying it's just the menopause. Like I said, there can be like tissue, things like that. If your partner would be open and willing to talk to a healthcare professional about those things, then you can get things back up and started. But I would really focus on that dopamine, like getting out into green spaces. It's a big deal. What advice would you have to talking to teens and preteens about the awkward topic of the talk? So my son is 9, and I bought books, and I just keep them in the house. I don't know about so for preteens, it's perfectly normal. For teenagers, you want something a little more stepped up than that, and I don't have those yet because my son's just 9, so that's what I have right now. I'm just trying to think. But yeah, with the talk, you want to lead in a way that's like you're opening yourself up for them to ask questions. You don't want to like have them drinking from a fire hose. And, ouch. You don't want to have them drinking from a fire hose, and you don't want to answer questions that they didn't ask you. So just opening yourself up as a safe space, like you can come and ask me questions, and then finding literature that is age appropriate for them to just leave around the house, you know, that way they can self-guide it if they want to. I need to look up stuff that's like pleasure-based, because it's really important that as teenagers, they start talking about the appearances of pleasure, not just preventing reproduction and preventing STI, STD transmission, but also talking about like informed consent, the appearances of pleasure, checking in with the partner, and things like that, because we can act like teenagers aren't going to have, but they are. And we want to make sure that it's done safe and consensually. You can ask a question here. I try to answer to the best of my ability. I can tell you that if it's outside the scope of my ability to answer that question here. I also take clients one-on-one. I have a Patreon where I'm able to speak more freely. All of those links are available in the link in my bio over on my TikTok. So if you want to schedule a one-on-one session with me, which I'm going to have to jump off of here in like 10 more minutes because I've got one at 11. I've got another one at 1 o'clock. My goal is to teach my kids to be good lovers. Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot of talks. I just let my son know that if he's curious, if he has questions, then I'm here for him. If he has questions that he would feel more comfortable asking his father, then I have talked to, he has a great dad. He has a really great dad. I'm just gay. That's the only reason we're not together. And you know, that he can just ask his dad instead if that feels more comfortable. But I've also left books around the house, and I tell him, you know, there's these books over here if you've got things going on with your body and, you know, you don't want to ask me. You can do your own research. Doom, 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 doom. I'm in my first woman. You're in your first. There's a book called Lesbian Love Addiction that I can't possibly recommend enough that is going to be extremely helpful. And then I'm trying to think. I mean, I have a lot of playlists here on TikTok if you're looking for stuff like tips and tricks and techniques kind of stuff. I'm real big on working on yourself and getting more comfortable with communication, but I do understand that people still want kind of like tips and tricks and techniques. So I have like a mouth playlist, things to do with your mouth. I have a hands playlist, things to do with your hands. And I have a strap playlist if you're getting into those accessories. But I also have a Patreon where I'm able to demo all of this stuff and show you the toys. I can never do that here. So that link is in my bio. And you want to join the Patreon. I got like a million book ideas. I'm more of a workshop type person. I like to talk. Procrastinating as shit about writing a book. I never got to talk. I was genuinely terrified when I got my first period. I'm so sorry. I was 15 when I got my first. I knew exactly what was happening. My mom was like all excited. Oh my gosh, you know, all that. And I was like, you know, I'm bleeding on my dress, Mom. Can I get something to to catch it? Now it's just like this normal thing that I talk to my 9-year-old son about. Like yesterday, he was like, can you do yoga so I can jump on you while you do it? And I was like, Mom is on her period and my low back pain is off the charts. And he was like, I'm sorry that your back hurts, Mom. You know, and we just went on. You're 7. That's fucking wild. Like, I cannot imagine being my 7 little self and that happening. Man. My fancy I want to book a session together. Yep. You just book a one-on-one. I know it's a 2-on-1, but I prefer if you're in a relationship that you please bring your partner with you. It makes things so much easier if everybody is present. I was such a late bloomer. Yeah, I was 15. I didn't get any boobies until I was 17. I remember, yeah, I look forward to meeting you both. That's awesome. I grew up Southern Baptist, was extremely Catholic stepmom. Double time. I grew up Southern Baptist. Hey, bye, little one. Much love to you. Thanks for hanging out. I'm about to step out to 10 more minutes. 10 minutes. So get ready to session out. I mean, can't wait for it to end soon. The rite of passage word. Puberty. Oh my gosh. Puberty happens like multiple times in your life, I feel like. Especially if you're like a late bloomer. Like, you lived a life to make other people happy, and then you were like 40 and realized that you weren't even living your life, and then boom, you're like, fuck this shit. This isn't even what I wanted to do, and then you have to go through this whole other puberty. There's like multiple ones. Good morning. I'm gonna have to put some pants on for my Zoom session. I'm just sitting around in my period underwear. Like, gotta run, but this was great. Check out that. Yes, thank you for the suggestion. I really appreciate that. I'm sure my girlfriend's gonna really appreciate that. She loves when I be smelling good. Just spoke my life out loud. I'm 44 and discovered. Yeah. If you're a woman, if you identify as a woman, then you have most likely been living your life for other people. It's the reality. At some point, you have to open your eyes and realize that we live in a patriarchal society, which means that men are deemed human beings and women are deemed as human givers. You can read about this in Down Girl by Kate Mann, The Logic of Misogyny, and start to understand why this internalized misogyny is within all of us and it does no one any good. You know? And so for those reasons, women will do all the emotional labor, the domestic labor, but also are in the workforce because like almost, like 50% of households are dual income households. So, but women will still end up picking up all of the domestic labor as well as doing labor outside of the home and then doing the emotional labor if they're married to a cis man of doing his emotional labor because men are not supposed to feel emotions because that's not manly, which is why they have such a high unaliving rate. Misogyny does no one favors. No one is winning in patriarchies. At some point, we're going to have to like deal with that. But yeah, it's the reality of the situation. Men only feel angry because they're not allowed to feel any other feelings, and that's of their own prison that they make for them damn selves. So I don't feel sorry for those type of men. And I realize that there are other type of men out there. I had the good fortune of making a child with a man who's not that bad. He's a good dude. He just happens to be a dude and I'm very gay, so it just didn't work. But we're doing a really good job of co-parenting our son. But being on the internet, I am slapped in the face with the reality of the larger percentage of what's going on out there as far as how men are conducting themselves. Yeah, that's that what you're saying. I've been my husband's therapist. I'm now getting separated. It's me time. It's about time that is going on way more times than I was ready to realize until I stepped out in this position on social media like this and realized that the vast majority of heterosexual couples, the situation is the woman is doing all of the emotional labor and then being expected to spread her legs and be ready for something. No, she's fucking tired. Just tired. In relationship with masculine. Yes! Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing up the toxic misogyny in lesbian relationships because as a lesbian, I'm fucking tired. I'm fucking tired. I'm so fucking tired, y'all, of masculine lesbians taking toxic masculinity and parading it around like it's masculinity. Like, shut the fuck up. You know, go to fucking therapy because snatching up misogyny and being like, this is masculinity, you can take that shit and shove it up your ass. Like, I'm so fucking tired I'm so tired. I have been queer since I was 15 fucking years old. And I am guilty of doing that shit myself. But at some point, you've got to look in the mirror and realize that you're the goddamn problem. And fix that fucking shit. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of it. It's... yeah, when I get upset, you're going to realize how Southern I am, for sure. But yeah, I'm fucking tired of it. It's ridiculous. Masculinity is security with yourself. You are a comforting presence when you are in your secure masculinity, okay? Femininity is nurturing. Masculinity is comforting. They are homologues to each other. They do not have to be counterpoint opposites. They can be homologues, okay? It's fucking tired. I love y'all. Thank you. I'm fucking sick of that shit. Like, if I hear one more stud, mass, butch, or some shit like that saying that taking the strap takes away your masculinity, I'm gonna punch them in the teeth my fucking self. I just cannot. I'm like, I still have a vagina. It still works. It still works. And my sexuality is not dependent on the type of stimulation that I like. I'm still gay as fuck. That shit is, it's misogynistic as fuck. They'll be saying shit like, you know, oh, I'm gonna slut my girl out or whatever, but then, you know, when the femme wants to put it on and strap you back, I ain't with that shit. Oh, that's gay. Yeah, we're gay, bitch. That's what we do over here. We do queer shit. Stop bringing that heteronormativity over here. You're fucking shit up. Being attracted to masculinity and does not mean that you're attracted to men at all. At all. No. Masculinity and femininity are meant to show up in any gender or non-gender. Like if you're non-binary and you have a mixture of femininity and masculinity, you are not supposed to be 50-50 just because you're non-binary. Oh, I'm non-binary, so I have to be 50-50. No, bitch, you can be 70-30. You can be 30-70 on Tuesday, still non-binary. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, people take these social constructs and bring them home like it's some moral conduct that we're supposed to, like, uphold ourselves against. We live on a floating rock, flying through space. You can literally do whatever the fuck you want. You really can. You really can. And if people want to worry about what the fuck you're doing, let them waste their fucking time. I don't have time for that shit. I'm too busy trying to be happy. I don't give a fuck. You shouldn't either. I shouldn't either. I'm just living. The fuck are you doing, bitch? Judging? You got time for that? I don't. I sure the fuck don't. I'm gonna be out here sipping coffee and eating pussy. That's what the fuck I'm gonna be doing. Be well. Be well, friends. Don't be worried about these tired ass people. I ain't got time for that. I don't have time for that at all. Cheers. Y'all gotta be fired up. How long is this live? Maybe I can download it and put it on my YouTube. Sometimes I do that. When I have a really good live, when I get on a roll, I download it and then I put it on my YouTube. My YouTube is BDE Talks. I think I have a link in my bio. There's a little like YouTube icon and you can push it and it'll link you over there if you want to go check those out. Yeah, no, y'all poked me in the right place. If you want to talk about toxic masculinity within the lesbian community, we can have a fucking chat about it for sure, because I am tired of these dusty ass bitches. Yes. It might take me a few days because it doesn't always want to download. I'll go and download it and then it won't load. But yeah, I have a YouTube. I don't do a lot over there. I probably should do more. But what I do over there is I download these lives and then I load them up over there. So what I do have over there is just like TikTok lives that went well, or I got really fired up and I put them on there. Patriarchy has us brainwashed for fucking sure. It's been going on since, God, for millennia, since BCE, of just trying to control women like livestock. And pick-me bitches keep it going too, so it's not just men, because there's like the pick-me's, You know, for some reason, they think if they uphold patriarchy, that there's going to be favoritism for them. I'm like, ain't nobody going to show you no damn favors. You're still a woman. You're still just seen as livestock. Like, calm the fuck down. And some of us that call others out for their shit. Yes. A podcast so I can listen to me. I need to do a podcast. I should do that. People are crazy if they think there isn't toxicity. There is toxicity everywhere. There's toxicity in every community. I am a strong kink community member, but they are toxic people over there too. You feel like body parts to your husband? That's real. That's real. See, I hear that a lot too. It makes me so fucking sad. Pisses me the fuck off. See, so many men who feel like that masculinity and upholding masculinity is thinking that everything that is feminine is below them and beneath them and is something to be owned, like you are property. You are in a partnership, honey, and if you are not made to feel like a straight up 50-50 partner, that is unjust. That is unjust. This is spicy educational content. Thank you. Please so my partner can learn more if you need to. We're on the same page. Yeah. It's real. I try to help in the communications department. There needs to be relational communication that's smooth. And when I'm turning on, oh no. That's not true. Being wet does not mean that you're turned on. If I hand you an apple and you bite into it and it's all like moldy and got a worm in it, your mouth will still water. It doesn't mean the apple was delicious. It just means that your digestive system was getting ready for you to swallow something. If your V gets wet, it just means that it's detected that there was sexually relevant stimuli happening, so it gets wet to try to keep from tearing. It's a defense mechanism. It's not an appearance of I like this. My ex made me feel like an object a lot. I'm with a woman now and I never felt so more cherished. I'm so happy that you feel cherished now. I feel like kink can get very toxic. Kink can be therapeutic, but kink can be re-traumatizing, and it depends on the person doing the kink. It's kind of like a hammer can be used to unalive someone, but can also build a home. It doesn't make the hammer bad. It makes the person wielding it bad. So kink is a tool. You can either be a tool or use it as a tool. Because he's married You may not like me, you know? You may not like me. Y'all just getting me in snippets. I may be terrible. He just started calling me, and I would love that. I would love to live in community. I love community. I thrive in community. Making the hammer analogy sound. Yeah. One of my followers actually helped me out with that. We were talking about adding toys. So partners who are feel insecure about their partner using a toy because they feel like their partner likes the toy more than them. And this gentleman come along and said something wonderful, and I loved it. He was like, he said to my fellow men out there who feel intimidated by toys, just remember that you may use a hammer to build a house, but it was not the hammer that built the house. It was still you using the hammer. And I was like, boy, I could hug you. Yes. So I've carried that with me ever since. I was like, yes, that was beautiful. So there's some good men out there. And somehow they find my page and say beautiful things, and I really appreciate that. Alright, I'm going to have to pop off. I've got to get ready for my client. I've got to put pants on. Just sitting around in my period underwear because it is what it is. But I love you all. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me this morning. This is cool. I'll see if my girlfriend will be into doing a live this weekend sometime. It's going to depend on if she works or not. So if she doesn't work, then I'll see if she'll do a TikTok live with me. I love to do those where it's like, come and ask my girlfriend questions. Because sometimes y'all want to ask her questions and she has her own voice and own agency. And I like for her to be able to speak, and I just love her. Alright, cool. Y'all be real out there and be kind to yourself. It's for real. I mean it. Be nice to yourself. I love y'all.